Hello folks, I am from Software Solutions and today we are here to present the next video on Swagger. Swagger is a framework whereby or a tool whereby you can design, build, consume and document your RESTful APIs. I hope you'd like it. But before we come to the Swagger, let me give you a background why the Swagger fits in. So in today's world, everything is RESTful, and we are slowly moving to the RESTful world as the apps and different kinds of apps, it's mobile apps, desktop apps are growing faster. So what is REST? Is REST a technology? No. So REST is a concept. REST is a design. REST is a design pattern, right? So in order to start with the REST, whenever you start a project or you incepted a service which should be published in the API in a API way, you should first think of yourself what should be the design, what are the endpoints. So when design comes in, Swagger become handful because whenever you have a design, you need to visualize it, you need to present it in front of your stakeholders, in front of the application developers, end application developers, I mean. So what we do in this Swagger is we build the full life cycle, and it helps us to generate codes, it helps us to document, it helps us to test our uh, APIs in an elegant way. So let's see how it works. Let's take a case study first. Suppose we want to create a blog where this blog would give you APIs. It won't have any front end, and the application developer will call the blog APIs to make their own look and feel or own app or something like that. So in order to do that, blog will certainly have few resources. And when I say resources, means RESTful resources. What are the resources we can think about? The first thing we it comes to our mind is users. The first thing it comes to my mind is post and comments. So let us take an example. Let's say post. So there will be an API which can give you all the post. You can update the post, you can create a post, you can fetch one post, and you can delete one post. These are the crude resources methods. So let's see how we start designing a RESTful web service through Swagger. Okay, so we will start now. So first of all, I want to show you the Swagger homepage, which is swagger.io, and there are a lot of documentation specifications are written there. So go to the tools menu, check the Swagger editor, and hit the online editor button to pop the editor in your screen. So because I have done previously some APIs, this things are coming up, but normally when you hit for the first time, the Uber, the largest um, cab radio cab service would come up. Now this is YAML. I'm sure you are familiar with YAML. If you are not, you can write JSON also, because YAML is a superset of JSON. This is our tool. There are a lot of functionalities I will be covering. Just bear me with. Uh, Now, in a blog, we are actually interested on the posts, that how many posts will be and how it will be fetched and something like that. Now, how does it look? Let's say we are starting from the scratch. So now you have to write Swagger, which is a version of the Swagger, means the compiled version would be 2.0 info. this I'll be naming as typicode blog API. And whenever you type something here, the tool is very intelligent. If I change it to, like this, you can see these things are changing in the fly, and you can, just do something like that. Descriptions, this is the description it is showing here. What is the API version? Don't confuse with this version. This is Swagger version and this is your API version. Next, where is the host? And there are a lot of comments available. Uh, if you don't know what is the names of the parameters, don't no problem. You go to Swagger to spec and you'll be seeing all this here. You'll be land up in this and everything is written there, that where to write what, and see the Swagger info, what it does, everything, and what are required, what is not required. This beautiful documentation is there. So don't worry about what do I write in the host or how do I write as a host. So host is basically where you actually host your API. Then the schemes, whether you have only HTTP or HTTPS. What is your base path? This base path, mind it, will be prefix for all the paths. So be careful about that. Produces means what your API produces. Either does it produce JSON? Does it produce XML? So if you write JSON, then it will come up as JSON. But don't worry, I mean you can change it in the resource level as well. This is just a default. If you do this, you don't have to write explicitly in all the paths. Now the intelligent part or the main part where all the resource will be exposed. So this is called paths. What are the paths you have? So my first path is posts, which give me or gets me all the post. This is the summary. Description, you can write a long description. Now tags is something like that. You have, suppose this API is also meaning, this API is clubbed into posts. Means if you have a CRUD on post, these CRUDs will be packaged in a tag called posts. So whenever somebody click the post, you can see the filter showing filter by only tag post. So you can actually filter out that I want to concentrate on post, so that is why it is there. Okay, and whenever you write post, this comes up here. you know it's very intelligent. You don't have to declare all the post. It comes up here also. Now my I just missed the method is get by the convention of REST, because I am just getting all those things. Now my response, this is again a crucial part. In this case we don't have any input parameter. I will show you in the next example how to deal with input parameters. The responses, it's very simple, right? I mean, if we are fetching the post, it will give me an array of posts. In this case I have defined an object called post, and if you see the schema, the return schema is an array of items, and each item being a post. Now where did I define this post? So that's the first part. So you can see the path. Hash means in this file only. Definitions, there is a section called definition. Inside that I have an object called post. If you scroll down, in the last you have a definition, and in definition you have post. This is the object name where we use that in our return type. What is the kind of object it is, or what is the kind of data structure it is? It is an object. And what are the properties? These are the properties. So there will be an ID, there will be title, there will be body, and there will be who created the post. Don't worry about the type. Again, you can go back to here and check what are the types permissible in Swagger. Sorry, I am on the wrong page. Yes. uh, so if you scroll down somewhere here, you can see the data types. I'm not sure where it was, but definitely it is there. Yeah, this is it. So you can write these many things. Okay, so next I have defined this. Once I define this, I go back here in my API or in my path, I write it. Similarly, if your, and this is a return method, a return code, response code, which you should be using. You can have more than one return code here. And in addition to that, you can write a default. If none of the, it is like just switch case. If none of the response code matches, then it lands up in a default. And in default also, we have used a schema, and we have used an object called error. You can find this error in the definition. I'm not going into that. So what will happen whenever you write this, in the right side there'll be nice GUI created for you. You don't have to write anything. You have to write this smart, what is highlighted here, and it gives you all the things. It says the code is 200, description is array of post, and then you're returning a post. Look at this. This post is an array, an object. I mean array of post object. If you expand this, I have not written here, but it is taking from the definition. So this way it is very much useful for the application developer, that what I need to do in my client application in order to get or parse or unmarshal the JSON or REST response. Let's go to the next example where I am fetching one post. In this, see, the path is, I'm sure you are conversant with the path parameter. So this is our path parameter. So it says that get a specified post which is being specified in ID. In this case, we have to give a parameter. In the parameter, you can see the name is ID, and this, I am stressing on this, this should match with this. So if you have a multiple path parameter, then you have to give multiple this thing. The in type is path. This can be body also, this can be query also. I mean, there are three type of parameters, as we all know. One is path parameter, one is query parameters, one is body parameter. So you can write all these three option here. Whether it's required or true, path parameters is always true, but in case of query or in case of body parameter, you can write true or false. What type of this is? The format is int. And then again the normal things which I define these things. Now how does it look? Let's see, this is how it looks. In this case, you have called parameters and responses, both the things are here. You could have used in JSON or an object also here. That's not a problem, but you have to define, I mean, as long as it is defined in the definitions, we are fine. So in the, I'll give that example. So in this case, ID and its type of number, format is int, and the responses being the same. Now let's go back and see how do we create a post. Again, this is a get method. Now if you want to create a post, it's again in the post same path, but the method is different. So you can see the tree, right? It's gets and the same path, get and post. In the post, you see everything is same, but here I am specifying this is consumes JSON. And in the parameters, I'm saying my body name is, I mean, this is body means I will pass the JSON in my body. This is a body parameter. Name can be anything, it doesn't matter for the body post. body parameters, and then you have descriptions. Now look at this. Schema is new post. So we are creating a new post here. Whenever you create a new post, it doesn't have an ID. So, I mean, I couldn't use this one because I don't know the ID here. So if you go there, new post, it's just similar to the post except the ID is not present here. See? So what I'll do is I'll give this and that will create a post. Now how does it look in the right hand side? See, the color also gets changed here. Mind it, these are blue, these are green, and if you see, the name of the name is post. This is located in body, and then in the similar way, this object is being displayed, new post. So again, for the application developers, they know what is required here, how it can be, you know, supplied so that it works, and the normal responses. Now let's go back to delete. How do you delete one? Now delete, what should be the path? Yes, you're correct. The path should be, because you're creating one delete. So in the same path, I have specified delete. Again, the parameter I need to define, excuse me, parameter I need to define, and in this case, the path parameter is path. Required is true, and in this case, response is nothing, just the description, the newly created post. Nothing, because we are not returning anything. And how does it look here? See, it's red because it's delete, and the similar way everything is the same. I hope you get a fair idea how to write, but if you are not conversant with EML, I encourage you to read EML. It's a nice stuff, and if you still are not conversant, the same version can be found in JSON. So if you see there, whenever they have given one example in their documentation, they have always given side by side a JSON and a IML, and you can see those are both very similar. The tags are very similar, everything is similar, so it's easier to understand. Okay, so next we will see how to consume or how to build. Once, I mean, this is our, here it ends the design part. Now how to build this Swagger backend. So now I mean, you have to do this, so backend code, and Swagger is very much vendor agnostic. So I mean, you can have your own preferred languages to implement your server or service. So here you have generate server option. If you go that, these are the out of box things uh, Swagger supports. I'm very conversant with Jaxoris, I'm very conversant with Spring, I'm very conversant with Node.js, Silex PHP. So just let's say one example called Jaxoris. So if you click that, it will give you a starter project where you have everything you need. All you need to do is create a Maven project and then go to the main Java, and you'll see uh, now you see all the paths which we have defined. It's here, it's automatically generated. All you have to do is to do some magic, as they say. So here you have to do some you know business logic. So this is your post get, post id delete, everything is there. All you have to do is write your business logic and deploy it. And once you deploy, I am not going into each and everything, but you can you know explore that. It has Scala try and everything is there. Once you deploy this, we will consume this. And to consume this or to test this, you don't have to write any code. Swagger gives this option to you. I have already deployed we have already using type code thing. This is another nice thing where you get a fake APIs. Um, JSON placeholder typecode.com. You can see this URL in my comment sections or description sections of this video. So it's there, and they have APIs like this. So once you go this, let's try out our first operation. So if you hit this try this operation button, all the things comes up automatically. And only thing they are warning is make sure your requests are cross origin compliant, means your server accepts the request from this URL. Okay, so I'm sending the request. Once you're sending the request, it is actually hitting this APIs, and once it hit, it gives you this nice view where what you can present to your stakeholders. Now see, all the things there, and this is a raw version, this is a pretty version, this is a rendered version. Isn't that cool? Same thing, what happens is, in order to do create, remember we have used this one. So if we want to create that, hit that try operation button. You have access JSON, HTTP methods, everything, and then you have an object. Look at the border. This is an object. So I am creating a project called software blog. Hi there, and user ID is 1. And after that, it hits send request. It says success and gives me back my ID. So my ID is 101. Remember, we didn't pass the ID. It has created and gives me this. So this is the way you can, showcase your APIs without uh, writing any code, but just you designed it. But there is also support for the client or the application developers, in client developers who will actually consume your code. So there is something called generic client here. If you do a generic client, if you are from Android, you generate in Android. If you are from anything, like there are a lot of options: PHP, Angular, Scala, Java, JavaScript. There are a lot of options, and this is beautiful. I mean, you don't have to write anything. So let's go to one. Let's go to JavaScript, which we all familiar of. Once you do this, it will again give you a client package where you open this and you have everything there. APIs, model, API client. So if you open up API client, see, these are the files. And if you go to index.js, all things are there with commented, right? So all you have to do is implement this code, or if you are not conversant, just write it your own. So that is how the full life cycle works. So I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching, and if you really liked our video, please subscribe our channel. There are a lot of other nice videos or nice tutorials on different things. If you have something to say, just comment below, or you can write us to knock@software.com. Cheers, have a good day, and be good. Thank you.